Chris Philp is standing by waiting to talk to us. Good morning to you. It's nice to see you. I know the Conservatives have released the press release this morning with your ideas on how to crack down on the immigration problem that we've got. You say that all asylum seekers found to be working illegally would have a sort of all their asylum claims automatically rejected. A lot of people would look at this and say, yeah, fine, this would be sensible. Why didn't you enact this when you were in office?
Good morning. Well, look, we've got new leadership and a new approach. I'm the relatively new Shadow Home Secretary, and we're developing new ideas, and this is one of them. Illegal working is completely unacceptable. I went to an asylum hotel in central London a few weeks ago and discovered a compound next to that hotel full of bikes for Deliveroo, Uber Eats and Just Eats. I spoke to local people who told me that illegal working at that hotel was rampant, and the same story is true up and down the country. And that is serious for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it's a pull factor. People smugglers say to illegal immigrants in Europe, come to the UK and you can work illegally for Deliveroo or someone, and that is a pull factor which attracts people over. But it's also actually dangerous, particularly for women and girls, because if they order a takeaway and it gets delivered to their home and the person delivering it is an illegal immigrant with no checks have been done, Deliveroo's got no idea who they actually are, that obviously poses a risk to women and children. So that's why it's got to stop, and the best way to do that, I think, first of all, the government should stop this happening at their own asylum hotels, which are being paid for with our money, with taxpayers' money. But secondly, they need to say to people, if you are an asylum claimant and you're working illegally, you can say goodbye to your asylum claim, because this illegal working scam has to stop.
So if the asylum claim is rejected and then those people are then put on a plane home, well, how is that actually going to work in practice? How would you actually deport people? Because it always gets caught up in legal challenges, doesn't it, in the ECHR and the like?
Yeah, it does. So first up, we've already said we'll repeal the Human Rights Act in relation to immigration matters, which means domestic UK judges can't stop the deportation of foreign criminals or people who are here illegally or people that have crossed the channel. Those people should all be removed. So repealing the Human Rights Act is the first step, and we may need to go further and come out of the ECHR entirely. We've got a top lawyer looking at that who's going to report back in just a few weeks' time, and if we need to leave the ECHR in order to deport foreign criminals, people who are here illegally and people illegally crossing the channel, if we need to leave the ECHR to do that, which I suspect we probably do, then we're going to.
Yeah, all right, but you've been looking at the ECHR and whether we should be in it for a year. I mean, it's one thing Kemi Badenoch would not commit to when there was all the leadership contests going on. Robert Jenrick said yes, he'd come out. She said, oh, well, you know, we need to look at it. Isn't it about time we just had a decision on this? You know what people up and down the country are saying, people who are at least possibly Conservative voters, they tend to want us out of the ECHR. Why don't you commit to it?
Yeah. Yeah, well, because we want to do it properly, we want to think it through and not shoot from the hip, and we're going to have the answer in just a few weeks' time, so just bear with us for a few more weeks. And by the way, I think it is important to think it through properly rather than shoot from the hip. So obviously it's easy for Reform or whoever just to go, oh, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll leave this, we'll do that, without thinking it through. And, you know, that actually does the British public a disservice, because if politicians say things they haven't thought about properly and then can't deliver them, that's actually bad for the country. So we are doing the work, we're going to think about it properly, so when we have the answer in just a few weeks' time, it's an answer we know is going to work and the public can have confidence in. And that actually is the difference between us and Reform. You know, on immigration, we have similar objectives, but we're going to think it through properly and have careful, credible plans rather than shoot from the hip. So bear with us for a few more weeks and we're going to get there.